So I want to inform you, could you all switch off your microphones, please? So then we cannot hear any sounds behind this presentation. So then I will start with the pre-arrival Q&A session. If is
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Could you switch off your microphone, please? Um, okay, I will start with the presentation. We know starting a new study adventure can feel exciting and overwhelming at the same time. So that's why we have organized this pre-arrival Q&A session for you. So again, welcome everyone. And then I press continue with the next slides. First of all, be aware. If you having received this invitation, that does not mean you are accepted at Avans University of Applied Science. This session is just about practical matters. Questions about the status of your application file cannot be answered by us. And in this session, we will discuss some topics. And after each topic, you will have the opportunity to ask your question about that. First of all, we want to show you a first impression of Avans. I hope this works. So I will start the little movie. I'm sorry, but I've really forgot to tell my name. So I'm Kimberly, one of the members from the international office from Avans University. And I will do this presentation together with some of other colleagues. My colleague Anouk is going to tell you something about the cost and payments right now. Yeah, thanks a lot, Kimberly. So indeed, my name is Anouk. I'm also working at the international office, and I'd like to explain a little bit about the costs that come into this picture of studying at Avans, studying in the Netherlands. There's a couple of things you have to take into account financially. So first of all, the tuition fee is set every year. And for Avans, the tuition fees for European citizens are set to be 2,694 euros per year. And for non-European citizens, it's set on 10,308 euros per academic year. In total, the study takes 4 years to complete usually, so then it's 4 times this amount. On top of that, there are some costs of living. So of course you need some accommodation. So be aware that these costs can vary between 400 and 800 euros per month, roughly, depending, of course, on the type of accommodation that you choose, whether you'd like to live together with other students or if you find a studio for yourself, for example. On top of that, there's also insurance costs and groceries. Again, very much depending on, if you eat out a lot or if you decide to cook a lot of meals by yourself. Then to help you financially, there are a couple of options, especially for European citizens. The government has some things to help you finance your studies. So there is a loan system you can use. European citizens are entitled to loan from the Dutch government. So this is a certain amount you can get each month to help you finance your studies. Whether you qualify for the student finance depends on your age, the course, and nationality of residence. You can find more information about this on duo.nl. So how this works exactly and if you qualify. Then another option is to go for student finance or to ask for it. European citizens can qualify for this basic or supplementary grant if they work in the Netherlands for at least 32 hours per month. So this is something quite some European students do, is that they find a side job, and if you then work for 32 hours per month, you can apply for this grant. We cannot really specify an amount because this really depends on your parents' income. So this is really depending on your personal situation. The difference between a student finance and a loan is that the loan has to be paid back after you graduate, and the student finance is more as a gift from the government. And then one final thing about these costs and payments is that there's different ways to pay. For non-EU citizens, this bank transfer needs to be completed before June 15. That's a complete sum. For European citizens, you can grant authorization in study link, and it can be paid at once or in 9 installments if you'd like to split up the amount into different payments. So that's it for the costs. Are there any questions about this? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was really asking about the ones who are already living in the Netherlands, but they have the W document, like a W document holder, like they're still under procedure for the asylum seeker.
That's a good question. I think it also has to do with visa and residence permit, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think there will be later on also a part about the visa. Perhaps your question is already answered there, and otherwise also feel free to send us an email because sometimes it really differs per case, and we can have a look at it.
Yeah, you said visa?
Yeah.
But I already have the residency permit, but the W document for the asylum seekers, and already live in the Netherlands for almost 3 years.
Okay. It would be good to send an email. Just looking at my colleague. Wait. Provide an email address, just international office. Yeah. I will type an email address in the chat. Yeah.
Anouk, can I intervene? I will be later on with the part of the visa and residence permit. Perhaps I can ask or answer his question then already after I've done my presentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So stay tuned for a little bit. Thanks. Any other questions about this tuition fee or about the finance?
In chat. As a non-English citizen, can I work part-time and study at the same time?
Let me have a look.
Ja, ik denk, we gaan wel verder.
Yeah, I will answer the question in the chat for you.
Surprise, surprise. Next topic is visa and residence permit. Hi, everybody. My name is Patricia, also member of Avans International Office, and as you can see, at a different location. I'm going to tell you first a little bit about the visa and residence permits IND procedure. if you are a non-European citizen. First thing is first, we as Avans International Office will only start this IND procedure when you are formally admitted at Avans, which means that you have to complete your student file, your application, and when everything is approved and you are admitted and you have proof that you can start your studies at Avans, you will automatically be receiving an email from Avans International Office for us to start a residence and visa procedure based on studies. That's what we do as an educational organization, and it's necessary prior to your departure for the Netherlands. If you want to know more previously, before you have been admitted, or you want to prepare of in case that you are admitted, there is the international office has put information on the Avans website. So if you go to www.avans.nl and then click on the English flag, you will see the international version of the Avans website. Then you look for visa and residence permits, and there you can read all about what needs to be collected, gathered, because there are required documents we need from you before we can even start applying for your visa and or residence permit. And one of those things for those who are applying for a bachelor or a master program at Avans, June 15th is a deadline for those who are accepted or will be accepted to pay tuition fees already or to transfer money to Avans, and the deadline for that is June 15th. So usually after the June 15th, we start sending out mails to those students who have been admitted and transferred the money. There is an application fee, as you can see, of 254 euros, which has to be paid to the IND before they can even start, or even when they are trying to look for your application and deal with it. So it's not for us that you need to pay. You need to pay Avans, but we need to transfer that money to the IND in case we are applying for your residence permit. That's it for now. So the question for the one person who already is in the Netherlands and is in the procedure of the IND, we have other colleagues of the student administration office that deal with your application, with your student file. They will also ask you to upload a copy of the residence permit you already have in the Netherlands. That copy, they have to verify this with Duo and with other government organizations to see whether you are entitled of either the non-European tuition fee or that you can apply having to pay the European tuition fee. It's all up to the type you will have or you applied for for the residence permit in the Netherlands. Is it a little bit clear? I don't know who asked the question, but the
Yeah,
abbrevius is AA.
it is a bit clear. Yeah, thank you. So,
Oh,
should I email them because I already
no, no,
uploaded
no, no,
everything?
no. They ask, when you apply, they ask you to upload required documents. And one of that, in a later phase, probably, they will ask you to upload a copy of your residence permit so that you will be asked to do so.
I did already. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Then they will
But I'm
check it.
still waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, then they will probably check it already.
Hi, I have a question.
Okay.
Actually, I live in Netherlands almost 9 months, so I have
Yeah.
a residence card, and I will get the invoice for tuition fee,
Mhm.
and I think within 2 or 3 days I will pay the tuition fee.
Mhm.
And I want to know what is the procedures for visa applications for me. Could you explain?
So in a couple of days, you will pay the tuition fee, you just say? And then?
I want to pay a tuition fee within 2 or 3 days. So already I have get the invoice for this university for transfer the tuition fee.
Let me try to get it clear. So you applied for a Bachelor of a Master at Avans. You already have a complete student file, or not?
File complete.
Have you already received an official certificate of acceptance?
Conditional letters already I have received.
See, that's not the same. It has to be official. But if you have a residence permit, throughout this procedure of your applying, our colleagues of the student administration will ask for a copy of your residence permit you already have. And with that, they can determine whether this is sufficient for you to stay legally and study at Avans. If not, you will be contacted by Avans International Office so we can deal with the correct residence permits or ask or tell you more information on what to do.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, clear.
Any more questions for now? Okay, that's it then. Next.
Hello, you all. My name is Jimmy Menke. I also work at the international office. And one of my responsibilities is housing, which is another important topic for students coming to the Netherlands. You probably have all heard or read somewhere that it's pretty hard to get housing in the Netherlands, which is true. So for this meeting, I have only put some information on the sheets that is pretty general, because there's lots of detailed information to state about housing, which you all can find on the website as well. But just for the general information, I have made sheets that you can see here. So Avans does offer rooms. Well, not Avans itself. We have a cooperation with a couple of housing corporations in Breda and Den Bosch. And they have reserved some rooms for our international students, which has a special procedure to get into one of them. And the first thing that you would have to do, also stated on the website, is to fill a form, the form with the name "Looking for Accommodation." You can find it only on the website. If you go to the accommodation part and you go to Breda or Den Bosch, you will find this form. And when you fill it, you can indicate your preferences for housing, and by doing so, we can see what kind of housing is relevant or has your preference. So based on this, we can select some students that will have the chance to book a furnished or not furnished room through Avans. Also, you can indicate that you are looking for another type of room. In that case, we can help you in case we get other type of rooms from individual hospita or individual landlords that are searching for students to rent their rooms. So the rooms that are offered through Avans, through the housing corporation, like I said, in Breda, all of them are furnished. In Den Bosch, it's up to you whether you want them furnished or not. So normally, students share a house with 2 or 3 other, mostly international students, mostly Avans students. In Den Bosch, there's also an option to have a studio. However, it is first come, first serve based, and the studios are most of the time the most wanted rooms. So in case you are selected and you want the studio, you have to be pretty fast on the day that the booking site opens. Like I just said, there's also other housing available, which does not go through Avans. So if you are not selected for a room through Avans, or you just not interested in the rooms that Avans offer, you can also indicate that you are interested in other type of rooms, or you can search for yourself. As we have on the website also a link to alternative pages, which means housing agents that we know are trustworthy. So if you have a look here and you're not finding the right place to ask for information about housing because of you got scammed or you're not trusting the agency, you can look on our website for some links to trustworthy agents. So you can do that. And also through Facebook groups, lots of times rooms are offered. Most of the times these are rooms in student houses. So when somebody leaves in this house, they search for a new tenant and they put it on Facebook, and then you can respond to it and get in contact with them. So also on Facebook, you can have a good look to find a room. Also, the trustworthy groups we mentioned on our website. So please have a look there in case you are searching for trustworthy Facebook groups. So like I just said, in short, the procedure for the rooms that go through Avans. So we have the looking for accommodation form where you can express your interest for housing through Avans. As I just said, it can be found on the website at the Breda or Den Bosch part. Students that will receive the information about the booking will be the end of May. So if you fill this form, you will get the information ultimately by the end of May. There's a little difference between the Breda and the Den Bosch procedure, whereas Den Bosch is starting before Breda. So in case you are going to study in Den Bosch, then you really need to be fast, as in today or tomorrow you fill this form. For Breda, you will have some more time as this procedure has not started yet. So fill the form anyway, and we will try to do our best to help you with housing. And again, ultimately by the end of May, you will hear something from us when you have filled this form. So as I just said, there's almost a month in between when the booking platform opens in Breda or Den Bosch. Breda will open the July 6th, where Den Bosch will already open on June 1st. So again, if you especially go to study in Den Bosch or are interested in rooms in Den Bosch, you got to be fast now. For Breda, you will have about 2 more weeks to fill the form. These are, I'm sorry, that was a little bit too fast. Yeah, so if you want more information about housing, besides the general things I just told you, please have a look on our website, avans.nl, and I put the link here. So you go to practical information, there you will find accommodation. If you have found accommodation, then you can choose between Breda, Den Bosch, and also Tilburg is an option. However, we don't have any cooperations with housing corporations in Tilburg. This is why this was not mentioned in this presentation, but it will be there on the website to have a look. In case you are looking there and you have some questions, you can find also our email address and send us an email, and we will answer it within 48 hours to answer your question. Okay, so as stated, in case you're unable to book a room through the Avans platforms, also let us know, as we sometimes get emails from individual landlords that rent individual rooms. So we could maybe match you with the preferences you have with this room. So in case you're not managing to find a room, please let us know, and we will do our best to help you with it. Yeah, most of the things I already covered before. Yeah, so I'm looking what I can add now. Yeah, be aware of scammers, as the market is pretty tight in the Netherlands, the housing market. This will trigger scammers to earn some money. So be aware of that. In case that there's a room offered and the price will be looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So be aware of that. So use your normal senses to detect any scammers here. And yeah, in case there's any other question about housing, please send an email to internationaloffice@avans.nl and it will be answered as soon as possible. Thank you for listening. So at this moment, someone has a question about housing? If not, we will go through to the next part.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, hello.
Well, it isn't really concerning you guys, but I really thought about the housing. I'm really stressed about it. And I thought that it would be, in case I don't get selected for this housing, I thought it would be easier to find a flat if I group with other students. And I thought we could help each other out in case we don't find housing and group with each other and then find the flat together. So I I was when I joined this Q&A, I was really hoping I could exchange Instagram or numbers with you guys, the other students.
Yeah, you could do that. Maybe you could leave your email address or your Instagram
Sure.
ID here in the chat, and other people that are interested to get in contact with you, they can add you or email you. So yeah, you can leave your details in the chat,
Okay,
and
thank
then
you.
other people can maybe find you.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome. So
Hi, I have a question.
yes.
I've been applying for rooms via Woning NL, and yesterday I was offered a room at the Androes Boulevard.
Okay.
The problem is they're asking for a study certificate or proof of registration, which I have not received yet. I've sent all the necessary documents to Avans, but I have not received anything yet.
Okay, so it is good that you already found the Thuispoortwoningen. So if you currently search for a room on Thuispoortwoningen, then it means in case you get, because it will be by divided by lottery. In case you win the lottery, you win a unfurnished room that is not going through Avans, which is okay if you want that, but then be aware that you will have to arrange your furniture yourself. As what you also could do, if you did you fill the form, the looking for accommodation form, or did you not?
Yes, I also filled that in.
All right, and because if you are one of the students that are selected by the coordinator, which you will know ultimately tomorrow by email, then you could be selected as a student from Avans, which means that you get like a priority in Thuispoortwoningen. And this priority means that if you go to a lottery, one of these rooms that are available, you will end on top anyway. And you will have the option to get the room furnished through Avans. So it's up to you what you want. You don't have to do that. You can also, if you already won the lottery, just be aware that the room is not going through Avans and is not furnished. If that's not a problem for you, I would say just keep it like that. However, you will need this proof of acceptance, which you apparently do not have, which I understand. Then you would have to let them know what is the ultimate time to show them that you are accepted. because I don't know the exact procedure if you book it yourself in Thuispoort Woningen. So you would have to ask them when is the deadline to hand over this letter of acceptance. Otherwise, like I said, you will receive an email ultimately tomorrow letting you know that you can also opt for a room through Avans. So these are the options that you have at the moment.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I see another question too. Someone with the M. Merch. Your name starts with Merch.
Yes, sorry. For the life of me, I cannot find the chat. So sorry.
No
I
problem. No. So you don't have a question now, or do you?
No, I just wanted to find the chat to send my email and what we said earlier, but I cannot find it.
Like
I'm so sorry.
right on top of this presentation, there should be an option that you can click on for the chat to open. Can you find it?
No, I cannot. I'm so sorry. Does anyone have it, this option? Anyway,
So you don't see the chats that we have put in?
no, I cannot. I haven't seen the chat in the entire call.
Are you following this presentation on your phone?
No, I'm in my computer.
In your computer? Okay. Yeah, that's strange. Then I wouldn't know exactly why you don't see it.
Okay. I will try to fix it on my own. I'm just give it another try.
Yeah, or maybe you can now that you are that you have your mic open, in case it doesn't work out in the chat, maybe you can now tell everyone which email address they can reach you on, or maybe which Snapchat ID or Instagram ID. Maybe you can maybe you can just tell them now.
Okay. My Instagram is nemesis